Hey, this is Charles here with IGN's Anthony Gallegos.
Hello.
And we just got access to the Diablo 3 beta, which is pretty exciting. This game still does not have an actual release date, but we're just going to set up a game and give you a sense of what's actually in the beta. It's not a huge chunk of the game.
It's about 2 hours of gameplay, part of Act 1.
Yeah, but it is a little bit, and we've played through with some characters here, so we already are leveled up and can probably blaze through it pretty quickly. But here, I'm just going to invite Anthony to the game so you can see sort of what the invite system is like. It's pretty easy. It's just right through BattleNet, so I'm just going to send him an invite.
And I immediately got it.
Yeah.
And we're here.
Yeah, and now he's in the game, so we can't do versus. That is not available in this beta, at least. But when you do go to set up a game, you can actually change the quest depending on what you've actually accomplished before. So, wait, select quest?
I think it was just
yeah, there
that we'd already had a game in progress.
Okay, so these are, so these are the main quests, at least in the beta. The end is to kill the Skeleton King. I'm going to do the start of the game. But yeah, so you can both start at the same point, and as you play, like, people can come in and out of the game however you want, and the monsters will scale depending on who starts in.
And they don't have to be the same level as you, and if you're in a different point than them, like for instance, you get these permanent items in your inventory over time that allow you to do things like sell anywhere. If a player comes in and they don't have those yet, they jump in and they get those items just to catch them up.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty easy to use system, and it all seems to work so far, which is nice. And this is just what I'm looking at right here is a banner system, which you can customize however you want. I think it's funny how there are like WoW sigils you see here.
The Alliance symbol, the Horde symbol,
and here's some StarCraft ones. I'm going to go back to something wizard-like, which is that, and this will upgrade this banner you see here. That'll upgrade as you level and do things in the game to reflect your achievements. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking about this interface stuff. Oh, and here's the auction house. Not actually active yet, but it gives you a sense of what it'll look like a little bit.
I mean, the fact that it's so easy to access right there from the menu, one click, it's just right there.
I'm going to have some serious problems with this when this game comes out. And that, of course, is the system where you can sell in-game items for real money. So if you find something that you don't want, that maybe your friend doesn't want or something like that, that doesn't fit for your class, you can just put it up and people can buy it.
And just like that, that was all. Now granted, we have pretty nice computers, but the load times in this game are pretty amazing so far.
Yeah, that was really quick.
And even in between zones, it's basically almost non-existent.
And if you haven't played Diablo before, I mean, if what you've seen us do so far is pretty much what happens for the entire game. It's not especially complicated in terms of structure. You just run around from this perspective, kill enemies, and then pick up loot, like this damaged stone knife here, which then is added to your inventory, and you just equip them all over your character so that you can kill stuff better.
So this quest is obviously where the game starts. It seems to not be. We're missing some bit of story. All we know is that our characters are drawn here by some star that is apparently fallen, and we believe is suspect or part of the reason why there are zombies attacking this poor little town of Tristram.
Yeah, Tristram, which is, if you played the first Diablo, that is the town you're in that game. Deckard Cain will make a return here, who is the stay a while and listen guy from the first game. Oh, and here you see the banners just on the ground.
Yeah, that shows who's in the game. If you mouse over it, I can actually find out where they are. So if Charles was somewhere else, I could actually mouse over it and see that he was in another zone.
Yeah, and you can actually tell it. So if you bring someone into your game in town and click on these banners, you teleport directly to that player. So you don't have to do crazy like travel time meetups and stuff like that.
Just like the old Diablo, we have our stash in the town as well.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't look at that right now.
We're going to go into the inn and get our first quest.
I'm going to be that guy and just click through the storyline because...
Long story short, she's raised by Deckard Cain and she wants our help. Find him. All right.
Wait, was I supposed to go in Leah's room?
No, but you know, one cool thing if you do go in that room and you click on her table is that you see an example. I guess you've already... Oh, yeah. Click on the books on her desk.
Oh, there we go.
And you see an example of the way that they do story now, which is... I guess you've already found it in a previous game, but they do, like, audio logs now, where instead of having to read something or something like that, very much in a Bioshock sort of way, They just have audio logs that play in the background while you're going, so you can continue to get story.
Yeah, and the same thing will happen when you find a new enemy. You'll get a lore update, and you can click on it, and then you'll get an overview of what that enemy is, some specific things you need to be aware of when fighting that enemy, and all without having to read anything. It just plays as you fight in real time.
So now we're going in search of Deckard Cain. But to do so, we got to talk to the captain because he's got to open up the barricade for us.
Of course he does, because we totally couldn't smash through that wagon. I have a freaking lightning attack here. I mean, look, I can shoot galaxies out of my hand. I think that can break a wagon wall.
Well,
thank you, Archer guy. Oh no, it was zombies that did it.
I can summon frogs.
Yeah, that by the way might be one of my favorite attacks. I think, at least in this game.
You know, so if you've been following Diablo at all, you've seen the Witch Doctor. You know, he's kind of he can get up and close the gap if he wants, but he's also kind of a stand back and shoot from a distance guy, just like the Wizard, except, unlike the Wizard, he can also, you know, summon crazy things to fight for him, such as zombie dogs.
Which are right there, right?
Yeah, those are zombie dogs.
Okay. Oh my god, I got a blue item.
They're really awesome. Oh yeah, and one cool thing that they've done with the items in this game is, you know, what items we see are the items we see. Like, I'll never see the items that drop for Charles. So it's not like a mad click fest for who can get to the item the fastest and then hoard it.
And we're back. Sorry about that. We actually got disconnected from Blizzard's servers while we were playing, which is expected. I mean, this is a beta test, so that's sort of what it's for. But also evidence that you do need to be, and this was known beforehand, but you do need to be online in order to play this game. There's no offline mode like there is in something like Torchlight. So if you're not online, you can't access your character and you can't play the game.
Or if you lose your connection, you're kicked out.
Or yeah, so in that sense, it's much more like an MMO. And there's actually quite a few different MMO elements to the game that may not be obvious at the first time. This is just a dungeon I'm running by here that I'm not going to go in because it's not part of the main quest. But if I were to go down here, you can just explore this extra space in the beta.
It's very small, but you know, always the chance for some extra loot.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like there's an end boss sitting in there. Diablo is not hiding in that cellar, basically. Oh my god, we killed all the wretched mothers. I really like the interface and everything like that. The text, the menu system, I feel like it's really clean and everything.
I feel like they've learned a lot from World of Warcraft as far as having the quest tracking right up in the side, having a little mini map up in the corner. Yep. You know, like you said, even now you can hit B, which in World of Warcraft is for backpack, and it goes to your inventory.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, I remember I used to play Diablo a lot. Here, I'll just keep moving forward. I used to play Diablo a lot by with my map open like this all the time. Just to track the dungeon, but with this little map up in the corner, it's actually pretty easy to see where you're going and see where all the points of interest are. And I think we have to go in there. Oh, no.
Nice.
Nailed it. So yeah, now we're just going to interact with the waypoint system. So there aren't any town portals in this game. Instead, you can use these waypoints to teleport around, which is pretty convenient. It's just an instant teleport. And I'll display this right now, just as a test. I'll go back to the old ruins where I was, and if I use my Stone of Recall, it's basically a Hearthstone from World of Warcraft. So you can see the meters charging up here, waiting to go back, and I just go right back to town. And then this is the town portal thing, but it'll just take me back to where I used the Stone of where I use the Stone of Recall.
And the stone doesn't appear to have a downtime, really.
There we go. And there doesn't appear to be any sort of cooldown timer on this thing, so it's not like you have to wait 60 minutes to use it again. So that's actually fairly convenient if you're not... ooh, quest rewards.
Yeah, we just completed the quest of killing the zombies, and now we're going to officially help Leah here look for Deckard Cain,
who has been a consistent character through the series. Traditionally, he identifies items for you. And though town portal scrolls are not in the game, scrolls of identify are still in the game. So when you find super rare items, like, for instance, well, this isn't super rare, but rarer items. Are we supposed to go through the waypoint?
Yeah, now we're taking Leah on the quest with us. She's officially following us into the room.
Sorry, I got caught up in explaining things. But yeah, when you find items like this, like the less rare ones are blue, and then you've got crappy ones that are like white, and I don't think I have any gray ones. Oh yeah, there it is. But you need to use the scroll of identity in order to figure out what it actually is, so that you can equip it and see the effects. And as I was saying before, like there are a few things about interface that are definitely helpful and convenient in this version of Diablo. The first being that you can actually, like in World of Warcraft, you can, whoop, I did that wrong. You can text link items, so if I wanted to show Anthony, oh cool, Gloves of the Hawk, I'm so awesome. Look at my gloves.
I can click at them and say it's so awesome.
Linked in chat, and you know, you can click on this and it'll bring up the outline of what it actually is. This is a special enemy. As you see, the taking a little bit longer to die, special coloring there on the name bar. And
purple name, he used some magic on us.
Drop better stuff.
Here's the key.
And yeah, again, all the loot that you see on my screen is not what's on Anthony's screen. We have totally different loot loadouts on each screen so that we don't have to worry about
yeah, like from that
stealing.
chest, I got a sash, and Charles got a buckler.
Yeah, and some gold. So if you are in a random game with, you know, a public game just with people you don't know, you don't have to worry about them stealing your stuff. Oops, I just picked up a total piece of crap. But the other thing is, if you want to trade items, you can do that a few different ways. Oh god, there's zombies.
And really not picking up garbage items isn't really that big of a deal, because it isn't like the old Diablo where all of a sudden you're going to have to go through and drop a ton of stuff. At any given time now, you can sell the items that you have. There's no running back to town to sit there and merchant a bunch of stuff for gold. You can turn stuff in your inventory into gold, or if it's magic and you don't want it, you can break it down into parts for crafting.
Yeah, and I can show that in a second. I wanted to show that you can just drop items, and now that becomes a public item in the world. Anthony can pick that up if he wants to.
I will.
And also, if you drop an item, again, if you're in a public game and somebody isn't talking very much, you can just hold control over the item, and you actually see the text pop up that shows what it is, so that you don't have to necessarily pick it up to look at it, which I think is pretty cool. And we are going to head into this cathedral here to try and go find Deckard Cain. But yeah, some of the other things that I can just show off real quick, like, so my inventory is starting to fill up with random stuff. I have a lot of the better stuff, I guess, in the demo, but if you use this Nephilim cube, you will destroy the item, but this will turn every item into crafting components directly out of your inventory. So you clear space, you don't have to go back to town all the time to clear your inventory and yeah, sell off your stuff.
Again, it's a lot. Oh, sorry.
Well, yeah, and then this is just, I mean, it's the same thing. It's just I'm not getting components. I'm getting money back.
It's a lot like the enchanting system again in World of Warcraft, where you break magic items down into parts that you can use.
Very fancy visuals here. Nice shimmer effect over the Starfall pit. But yeah, one of the things I like about the combat is just the way everything reacts to your attacks. Like, you definitely get the sense that the enemies are flying all over the place. The physics are kind of cool. It feels like your attacks have much more of a sense of impact to them, I think. We can go over the character skill system in a bit, but yeah, these dungeon layouts are random, so we don't necessarily know where we're going here. We're just trying to get to...
Yeah, eventually, if you've played it before, you know what the exit's called that you're looking for, but it won't always be located in the same place.
Yeah, and there'll be some special features throughout the dungeons as well. Like, this is standard Diablo gameplay where we're just breaking apart barrels and stuff to find gold and items. But there will be... Oh, those monsters were actually fighting each other, it looked like.
Yeah, it did. Oh, no. My zombie dogs had already run ahead.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Don't worry, they look like monsters too. Oh, right there we just got an experience bonus, because if you manage to kill a group of monsters in a short amount of time, basically you can chain together combos and get experience bonuses.
Yeah, which is pretty nice, especially since I'm sort of nearing the upper part for the leveling in the beta. My guy's 10 right now, and I think the cap is 13. But yeah, it's getting more difficult for me to actually to actually secure any kind of meaningful experience gain. The health system, you'll notice a lot of red orbs are dropping all over the place. If you just run over those, you pick them up and you gain health, as does everyone in the area. So everyone will just gain health back. So you don't basically, I haven't had to spam any potions yet. You do still get health potions. I just have minor ones right now. Whoa, what just happened there?
I think what happened is you dominated.
I don't think that's, so yeah, I mean, there are a lot of health pots sitting around here, so not, we're fine. I don't have to use any health potions. But
like, both of us have a lot of health potions, but really I found so far I've hardly had to use them.
Yeah, I've had to use them in a few cases. Mostly, I'm a wizard, so I'm a little more, I don't sponge up as much damage, I guess you could say. Oh my god, there's so many zombies. So I'm going to use an area of effect attack here and shoot comets at these guys. There we go. But yeah, I mean, that experience bonus, plus 176, pretty nice experience bonus if you can take out a lot of stuff really quickly.
And it kind of encourages you to maybe use a really mana-heavy ability that you might not otherwise use.
Yeah, and so, I mean, you can't see Anthony's... Ooh, a shrine. So these shrines, like in Diablos of old, just give you temporary bonuses as you're running around dungeons. But you can't see Anthony's screen, but what I have down here, it's called Arcane Power. It's, you know, it's essentially mana, or mana, however you want to say it. Mana or mana?
Potato, potato in my mind.
All right. Hey, we found the door. But I have Arcane Power. Okay, let's do that. I have Arcane Power, which regenerates way faster than mana. Whereas I think the Witch Doctor has mana, right?
He has mana, but it still recharges pretty fast. And at level 10, you get the ability to take a passive ability that you don't have to actively use. And the first one I took was one that kind of gives me active mana regeneration anyways. So I actually get mana every time I pick up a health club. I gain mana as well.
Oh, okay. So, but there aren't actually any mana potions.
No, I mean, and I would say it all recharges pretty fast.
Yeah, like I have no reason, if you've been watching my Arcane Power orb, like I can drain it pretty quickly by using these abilities, but it comes back very quickly, so there's really no reason to run around with potions to replenish that. And every other class in the game, the Barbarian, and Demon Hunter, and who am I forgetting? Monk. They all have unique, what do we got here? They all have unique resource systems as well.
So we just saved Deckard Cain.
There he
sit
is.
Down and stay a while, man, from Diablo 2.
Oh, I'm hitting him with lightning. It's not doing anything. Why did you risk yourself for me? Because the game told us to.
Because I was promised quest rewards.
Yeah, I don't think I have any other option but to save you here. Otherwise, I'm kind of stuck. So he's gonna rock out with his cane a little bit, and there we go, magic staircase. Thank you, sir.
Now he's gonna head back to town, and so are we.